Today we're going to turn this into this. Stick around. Hi guys, thanks for tuning in today. Here I have 4 brake drums. These are from a 58 Beetle. I need to restore these. We're going to go ahead and sandblast them, and then we'll take them on the brake lathe and resurface the inside. I mic these out and there's plenty of room, and there's not much of a ridge on here, so we should be good to go on the lathe. We're taking off a little bit, and then I'm going to hit them with some ceramic coating, some of the Cerakote. This is called Transfer Grey, and what it does is it's supposed to wick away the heat. It actually pulls the heat out and keeps it cooler. So I thought it'd be okay on brake drums. I've used this quite a bit on aluminum heads for VWs and Porsches, and I did notice a difference that it does stay a little cooler, you know, maybe 10 degrees or so, but it's kind of noticeable. So I don't have scientific data on it, but real world data, it seems to work. I don't know, you could leave a comment if you guys have used any of this or any of the Cerakote products, but it seems very good, and it's super durable. I put it on headers. That's the only stuff I've ever had that hasn't burned off of like Porsche headers. This stuff is really, really nice. And so we're going to try it on here. What the heck, it's probably overkill, but we'll give it a shot. On the back drums, we have what we call oil slinger. And this basically just catches the oil from a leaking axle seal and spins it out through that tube, through a hole in the drum, and then ends up on the inside of your rim. And I guess better than on the brake shoes. So these drums took about 4 hours to sandblast. Normally I would have done this outside with a pressure blaster, but since it's Wisconsin in the middle of winter, I'm stuck to using the blast cabinet. So it came out pretty good. It's an 80 grit aluminum oxide media. This cabinet, I did the Harbor Freight upgrades to it. If you go on, search on YouTube, you'll see a bunch of people that show you how to do the upgrades with a metering valve and some other upgrades. But you definitely have to do that. This would have took 8 hours to do if the cabinet wasn't upgraded. Here I'm just giving the drums a good washing with soap and water, especially the insides there where the bearings go. Just get all that grit out of there, out of all the threads in the lug nut, the lug bolt holes. So after a ton of sandblasting, this is what we have. It all came out pretty good. The Cerakote recommends an 80 grit blast media, and no primer. It just needs that little bit of tooth to bite into. And I blasted these oil slingers. We'll powder coat these. And we'll go over all these with like a wax and grease remover. I did wash them off really good to get all the grit out. So it should be good to go for the ceramic coat. Okay, we'll give this a quick shake. Okay, so Cerakote recommends a 100 mesh strainer. I don't have one, so all I have is this. I have 125. This is for the RPS cups, so I have one here. I'm just going to pour it into here and use the strainer and the lid to pour it into the gun. I don't have an actual adapter just to attach this RPS cup to this gun, so we're going to have to go that way. So I'm just using a SATA detail gun. This is coat number 2. Okay, so here we have it after the Cerakoting. Comes out like a charcoal gray, sort of a semi-gloss to a matte type finish. Looks pretty good. Now we'll resurface them on the lathe. These are all pretty good. This is the worst one here. It's got a couple grooves down the middle. But there's plenty of room to, we should be able to get those out. We'll see how it goes on the lathe. So that's next. So here's my brake lathe. It's an old Bear brake lathe. It only does drum brakes. It won't do rotors at all. So it's pretty old, but it works really good. So I'll show you how it works. I'm going to start with the worst drum, just in case we can't clean it up and we have to restore another one. So we'll start with the worst one. So here it is. It has 2 pretty good grooves down the middle. It should clean up. This is still like factory sizing, so we got plenty of room. So how this goes on is there's a wedge. This is a spacer, a wedge. That'll go onto the wedge. And then we got another one, or cone, coming in this way. 2 spacers, and then this is a left-hand thread. Tighten it up. Then what we have is basically a cross slide right here in thousandths. And this here is the in and out. And this is the dial on how fast you want it to retract and make the cut. So the first thing I do is go in there and find out how far in I want to go, all the way right to this edge here. And then I set up a magnetic indicator stand and just use it as a stop, so I know right where to stop the carriage when going in, so you don't go all the way in and run into the drum. So we have that set, and this here is an automatic shut off. You can set this to shut the machine off when it gets to the end here. This is the feed rate. You can adjust the feed settings. So they make straps to go around here to stop this ringing. I don't have one, so I just use a bungee cord. Kind of just stops this ringing. So this has just a random high spot, and it's right where a lug bolt bolts in. So I don't know if anyone knows why that would, or what would cause that. Leave it down in the comments. I've never seen it before. So now we just have one spot here. Right there, there's one high spot. So that's what we're working on. Once we get that lower, we should be cutting all the way around then. I sped this footage up 3 times. This would be painful to watch at normal speed. It takes quite a while to go through. It's only moving about 0.002 a revolution, so it's going pretty slow. A magnetic indicator not only makes a good stop, but it also collects all the chips from the drum. Then when you shut the magnet off, they all fall off. I did a video earlier on restoring some valve covers that I did powder coating, and did more explaining in that video, so I won't go over that all again. The powder coating was having a trouble getting and sticking to that surface inside there, because it's kind of like it has to stick on a vertical surface. So I preheated it just for a few minutes to get it up to probably a couple hundred degrees, and that helps the powder stick. So here's the final product. Came out really nice. Really happy with it. Couple little rust spots, but not too bad. The powder coating came out really nice on the oil slingers and looks really good. So next thing we got to do is install the bearings on the front and put them on the car. So thanks a lot for watching. Please subscribe, give it a like. Really appreciate it. Helps the channel out a lot. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.